everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Heather and we're a fun, fabulous sewing channel, and today we are doing one of the things I promised was coming. Today we are figuring out, can we or can we not sew leather on our Juki tl2010q. If you are here for the first time or you just recently found me and you might have missed, in like November, it's now June, so 7 months ago, I went to Tandy for Mike to get him some Christmas gifts, and I found this like mauve, thinner leather, and it was like $12.99 for this like shoulder piece, and I'm like, $12.99 for leather? I have to get it. It's mauve. It's like one of my favorite colors. I keep matching what we're doing. Totally not meaning to. But so I grabbed this and I'm like, okay, but had no idea if we could sew leather. I've never sewn leather unless I was using like a hand sewing needle. So I've never sewn leather on a machine before, especially on this machine that we have here. And so I've been searching, I really have, for quite some time to figure out what can we make to sort of get our feet wet, test it out. And I came across this free pattern, so I thought it would be great because I love to feature free material here on the channel as well, so that you can try out designers and you can try out different patterns without having to buy something. I just think free patterns from designers are so important for sewists and like gaining skills and moving along in your journey, because you get to see how other people write patterns, you get to see sort of the creativity that comes from multiple people. I just feel like all that comes together to help build skill. And so when I found this free pattern, I was like, okay, let's try it. So we're doing the Pally pouch, and this is from Studio 7T7. Like I said, it is a free pattern. I will link it. I will link how you get it, something in the description box below. I can't link the leather. Like I said, it's from Tandy. We have a Tandy store local to us, and so that's where I got it. It is genuine leather. It's fabulous. Like, that's the inside of it. That's the outside. We are using a lining today, so I will link that, and anything I can link will be in the description box. So if there's like a bunch of words and then you can like a ... more, you just click that, open it up, and anything that I can share will be there. I don't have anything to show you because, like I said, I've never actually sewn leather before, and I've never sewn this pattern before either. It's kind of like a phone sling. So it's very small. It's a crossbody, and like I said, very small. It could potentially be really quick if you were not sewing with vinyl for the very first time ever, like I am today. It looks like a really quick make, and so it looks like it could be really good for markets or fairs or adding to your shop virtually, or if you have a storefront or something like that. I think that these would be really good for that as well. So yeah, let's get on into it. Let's see if we're successful. I really haven't done it, so I don't know what we're gonna come up with. So join me as we figure out, can our Juki tl2010q sew through leather from Tandy? All right, you guys, so here we are at the machine, which is a Juki tl2010q. We are using Tex 35 weight thread, and I don't know, you guys, we might switch to brown. I don't know that I want white against this mauve color. So let's take a look at our options. We've got black or brown. Actually, I think we're gonna go with this gingerbread color from Waywack in Tex 35 weight. So we'll switch that out before we get going here. So that will be in our top and our bobbin. We're also, before we get going, gonna switch out our needles to, I bought these 116 leather needles. You guys, I've never sewn, you know this, leather on this machine before. I've hand sewn leather before, but obviously that's super different. So I don't know, these could work, they could not. We're gonna find out together. So we're going to switch out our needle also. We're going to take out our typical Microtex 9014. We're going to put in this 116 leather needle. And then for materials here, we have some webbing that we're going to use for our strap and for our D-ring connectors. This is from Wonderground Fabrics. These are our D-ring connector pieces. We're going with matte black hardware, and actually this is like a mismatch of different odds and ends that I just sort of had in the bin. And we're gonna go with black rivets, matte black, and then I don't have any matte black rivet snaps, but I do have gunmetal, so we're gonna do gunmetal snaps. And then we've got our piece of leather from Tandy for our exterior, and then we've got our interior, which is this canvas. It's not like a waterproof canvas, just a canvas from Itchin' to Get Stitchin', I believe. You guys have so many things, sometimes I forget where they come from. All right, so that's the materials that we're working with today. I have made marks on here, and this is where we're gonna place our D-ring connectors, and so we're just gonna kind of get those set up while we're here. We're gonna grab our double-sided tape, and we're not sewing these on, so we don't have to switch out our needle and thread just yet, but we can prep our D-ring connectors because we're gonna use rivets to install those. You want to make sure that you seal your ends. Of your webbing, and we're just throwing down some double-sided tape. We're not stitching over it, so it doesn't really matter how much of it we get on there. We're just going for it here. And we are actually going to peel back totally the one that we're going to put our D-ring on, because we don't want that to be sticky above our D-ring. And the instructions are not for webbing, so we just switched them slightly to make it so that they sort of worked for webbing. So we're just going to fold over, basically so that you've got a half and a half, and you're folding over right at that half mark. Because we're going to use rivets in the top and the bottom, we want the seam to sort of be on the back so that it won't be seen. So basically we're going to make a rivet hole in the top and the bottom, and then we're going to use the markings that we have to line up exactly where we want to put our D-rings, and that's where we're going to put these on the back of our panel. So I'm going to set up the other one just like this. We'll pop our rivet holes in and rivet these through our leather, and that will attach those. And then I'm also going to change out our needle and our thread so that we're ready to get stitching. All right, I gotta say, I am nervous, like unreasonably so. All right, so we've changed out our needle and we've changed out our thread. We did what's considered the easy method for the strap connectors. You can like cut into your material and do it like that if you want to. So whatever works for you. But I wanted to do it this way, so those are all set, riveted in. So you do need a rivet press for this, but I have one of those, so that's why I figured it would be a great pattern. So we're just going to take our material, exterior and interior, and we're going to put it right sides together. I'm nervous. I'm also a terrible cutter. You guys know this about me if you've watched me for a long time. Real bad at cutting, you guys. Like, we're not even. We're not, I don't know what happened. We're gonna pretend like it's totally straight. That's what we're gonna go with. I'm just gonna clip our material together all the way around our entire piece. All right, we're we're clipped all the way around. Now bulk wise, I'm gonna say that we've sewn bulkier bits, but I don't know, it's the material, you know? All right, so we're gonna leave open a section on our straight side here towards the bottom. That way we can turn our project. So we're gonna start just above where we wanna leave open. This is like, oof, I don't know, you guys. All right, we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna see, we might have to put the leather up. We are using our tank foot, which is like a walking foot without the bulk. So funny because when I decided I wanted to try leather, Mike was like, oh, like you can come use my sewing machine. And I was like, well, yeah, thank you. But I want to see if my Juki can sew through leather. That would totally defeat the purpose. But I'll have to take you out to his workshop at some point because he's got a fabulous vintage sewing machine that sews through just about anything. With ease. He makes like really bulky leather wallets on it, and I'm just like amazed at the material it goes through. So far so good. It looks like our stitches look really good. And when I told my mom that I was gonna make something like this, she was like, oh, you should do it unlined. And I'm like, yeah, I get that I could do that, but again, like I want to test it out. I want to see what we can work with here. What can our machine do? We will have to do an online version of something though, eventually, because the fact that you can just leave leather the way it is perfect. You know, sometimes you just want to make a bag without doing the same thing for the lining. All right. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna leave a good amount open here. So we're just gonna come up probably like that, I think. We're gonna do a nice back stitch. All right, so I think we did pretty well. Our stitches look great on both sides. So far so good, you guys. I'm going to grab our peaking shears here. Let's see if they work for this material. Looks like they are. So I would just suggest that if you're going to make this bag and you don't have peaking shears, that you sort of cut your triangles in so that that material can just really fold in on itself. It'll reduce the bulk too. Make it lie nice and flat. Just kind of make it even here. Okay. And then we will also cut our corners here at the bottom. Real close to those stitches, but not through. That will enable us to poke out our corners really nicely. All right, and then we're just gonna reach right in and turn our bag. Now I'm feeling like our hole is not big enough. I was worried it was too big. So we're just sort of aiming for this top bit here to sort of pull it in on itself. Like so. Same thing on the bottom. We just want to sort of come in here, poke out that corner. And we want to make sure that we sort of get in there real good to poke those out so that they're not too bulky, because as they are right now, they're definitely too bulky. So let's see if we can trim away any more of that bulk. It's a learning curve. We're learning. And if we have to, we can always sort of close this a little bit differently. That is much better. So just a little more trimming. Really got those corners nice for us. Okay. We're gonna come up to the top and just sort of go around our flap and push out those seams all the way around the flap. Those peaking shears really did a good job of taking out that bulk for us. Okay. And there we are. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna sort of roll our seams out and clip them so that they lie flat for us when we go ahead and top stitch our entire tube. All right, we're all clipped up. We're just gonna go for it, because if I just keep staring at it, we're never going to get it to work. All right, so what I want to do is start, this is gonna fold up and this is gonna fold over, right? So like that's gonna be our bag. So I wanna start stitching in a place that's gonna be like the back of our bag. And I'm gonna do a leather side up here, see how that goes. It might not work out. I really don't know, but figure we'll give it a go. We're gonna do a little more than 1/8 of an inch, see if we can pop away from the edge a little bit. And we're just gonna be patient. We're gonna take our time. We're gonna take it slow. It's gliding really nicely. I could see that we skipped a stitch there, so I just went back over it. Same thing there. I could see that we didn't catch. Okay, and then right across the bottom. I'm like holding my breath. Luckily, I can tell when, for the most part, we're skipping stitches, and so I'm able to sort of fix those as we go. If you're not super sure on your machine where your skipped stitches sort of are, what they feel like, I would definitely try to figure that out so that you can identify them. If not, you can always fix them after the fact. We're almost back to where we started here. Okay. All right, you guys, we successfully sewed around our entire leather. Like I said, we did have some skip stitches that I could tell, and I did fix sort of immediately as we went. All right, so now what we want to do is we're looking for 5 inches We're gonna go a little more than that, you guys. We're gonna go about 6 inches up here. Yeah, 6 inches seems good. We're gonna clip. Now this, you guys, this is what I'm worried about here. I thought that this would be easy to do because there was no zips or anything like that. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, this is pretty dang bulky. Okay. Yeah, because we want our phone to fit in there. We want these guys to be up at the top. All right, we are not gonna stitch the tops. We're gonna put some rivets here in the corner because that's just too bulky for me. Too bulky. We're gonna try to just go down the stitches that we already have. Let's see, we might as well, right? Let's see what we're working with here. Let's see what our machine is capable of. Like I said, we're not going to do the tippy top because we are going to put a rivet in there. Let's see. Nope. Nope, we found our limit. We found it. All right, so easy fix to this is we are going to just rivet down the edges of this entire thing, which will still look absolutely beautiful. Will take us a little bit of time to do, but that is all right. Well, we know we can stitch leather. Super thick seams are definitely a no. Let's get ourselves set up to do rivets. The rivets are really difficult to show on camera. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll make all of the holes all the way down. And then I will bring you back. We'll push in all the rivets together so that you can see them. We'll probably do our magnetic snap at the same time. And then we will take a look at our finished bag. All right. So we've put them in on one side already. If you've never used rivets, they're so simple. You just punch a hole, push them through, and they snap together sort of temporarily until you are able to punch them down. So we'll just put these in. And then we will switch out our die on a green machine and we'll punch a couple of them down together. So overall, we can sew through leather, but not a lot of it. It looks like 2 layers is the most that our machine can handle, which I'm totally fine with. I think that that's, you know, it's not bad. All right, so temporarily all set here. We're gonna switch out our die. There is our green machine. Here's our rivet press die. One just goes right in the bottom, and then the other screws into the top. And then you just place it right in there. And you push down with full force. I don't know where that came from. Like so. And then that sets them in and secures them so that they're not going anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to set all of our rivets, and then we will make the mark for our center snap. All right, our rivets are set. So our we've got one of our magnetic snap die on. This is the other here. And you can see the rivet magnets. One side has this sort of flat rivet piece to it. And then you've got the male end and the female end here. So we're going to install the male end up here on what will be our flap. And so what we want to do is just sort of find our center. We're just going to find it by sort of making a little crease. Okay, and then we're just going to make a little mark with our air erasing marker and what we believe to be the center. That looks pretty good. We'll grab our hole making tool. Punch our hole. Now, did we punch through our interior? We did not. So we're going to go one more time here. All right, I think we got it that time. So we'll just grab our male end, make sure it's on the inside here. And then we'll snap that together. We're going to set this one before we go ahead and make the mark for our next one. So you can see the male side goes right into the female side here. And it sort of sits right in there. And then we set it. See how easy that is? Easy peasy. And then we just switch out our bases so that we can set our second snap. And we're just gonna sort of I think that looks pretty good. It looks tall enough to fit a phone. So I just used the male end of our snap to sort of make that mark there in the center. Not too far down, so we can still sort of get in here. And then for this one, we want it to go this way. So that they will close. So we're going to go ahead and move our other piece out of the way here. Okay, now that is set and our snap is closed, and there we go. That's our bag. Now we just need to attach our strap. So let's do that and take a look. All right, you guys, we're done. And look at our cute pouch. Okay. She is so stinking cute, you guys. Like I said, it's small. It's meant really to slip your phone into, and probably that's about it. It is a crossbody. I know it's really hard to see bags on me. There we go. That's obviously not where I'd wear it, but you can see when I hold it, it looks like the straps are too low, but when you're wearing it on your body, it just lays against your body really nicely. And we just attached a pre-made strap that we had pre-made by us. I like have a day where I just like make straps that we have. This is just a plain 1/2 inch wide black strap, so I just kind of attached that for the time being. But yeah, there's our bag. So what did we learn? Our Juki tl2010q can sew through leather, and I will probably try a couple of different projects with leather that aren't so bulky here on the sides. Like, we couldn't stitch through all of this. So this is 1, 2, 4 layers of leather and 4 layers of interior materials. So that's 8 layers. So we couldn't make it through that, and that's totally acceptable. I ain't mad about that. But we were able to sew through, we were able to top stitch really nicely in our bag. And so overall, could we sew through leather? Absolutely, we can. It came out so cute. I actually really like the rivets down the side. Made a couple of bags with rivets down the sides, and you guys, these sides are not opening. Like, you're not gonna lose anything through here just because it's not sewn together. It's still gonna work for you. I really like the back. I really like this. This is such a cute, and you saw, we made it pretty quickly. I was very slow for me. Usually when I sew, I'm like, boom, like I go full speed, full rabbit mode on the machine. And so we took it really slow. I think if I wasn't sewing with leather, if I was sewing with material that I was really confident with, I would probably have been able to make this whole pouch in under a half an hour. So I think that, like I said, like I thought at the beginning, this is going to be a really fast make for you, especially if you're making it with material that you know your machine is going to have no issues with. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm so happy that we were able to make this on our machine. I love sort of testing it out and testing the limits. I always use a lot of the same material, and so it's important for me too to continue to grow, and that's what we did here today. Yes, we can sew through leather on our Juki tl2010q. Thank you so much for joining me today. As always, I appreciate you guys. I hope that you enjoyed our leather video today, and I think we'll probably do some more leather makes here coming up. We might have to go back to Tandy and see if we can find some more material. We still have a ton left on our roll. So I foresee some key fob wallets coming here because I think that we can leave those unlined and they'll be fab. So we'll have a third sort of key fob wallet video with unlined material here coming soon, I think, because I can't stop making those. And I love finding new ways to make them. All right, I hope that you enjoyed today. Please like, comment, say hello. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for sticking with me, for joining me whenever these new videos come out, and for continuing to be excited about the things that we do here on the channel. It really means so much to me, and I will see you soon.